You're welcome to this class, Great Minds. Today I want to take a look at application of number base. This is one of the application of number base. So in this kind of question, it will require us to find the base itself, okay? So the technique behind here is that whenever you are given something like this, the best thing to do is to always convert it to base 10. So you convert every other bases that happen to be there to base 10. You can have it longer than this or more complex than this, okay? But just have it at the back of your mind that the best thing to do is to always come back to base 10 whenever you see letter, either inside the number or as a base. So you just come back to base 10 and it will be easy for you to get rid of it. So now here, you already know how we convert to base 10. So just take the left hand side and convert it to base 10. The other side, which is 68, is already what? In base 10. That's why it's not displaying, okay? So here we have 1 multiplied by x raised to power what? 2. Don't forget, the power of x for 4 is what? Is 2. Is 0. The power of x for this 0 is what? Is 1. Then the power of x for this 1 is what? Is 2. So you have that. Then plus 0 multiplied by x raised to power what? 1. Okay. Then plus 4 multiplied by x raised to power 0. So you have equal to what? You have it equal to 68. So you simplify for that. 1 multiplied by x squared will give me x squared. Then 0 multiplied by any value will surely give me 0. So that is 0 there. That's plus 0. Then you have plus 4 multiplied by x raised to power 0. X raised to power 0 is 1. Don't forget. As anything raised to power 0 for now is what? Is 1. So you have multiplied by 4. That will give you 4. Okay? That will give you 4. So equal to what? 68. Then you can collect like term and simplify further to obtain your x. So if I collect like terms, I'll have 68. Okay? Minus 4. Which will give me what? Which will give me 4. Okay? So then, for me to obtain my x, I need to take square root of both sides. When you do that, you obtain plus or minus what? 8. Isn't it? But since the base cannot be negative, it has to be positive. So our answer is actually what? Plus 8. So you can see it's very simple. So the techniques here is that if you look at, or let me call it the hint. If you look at this 104, they are 3-digit number. When it is 3-digit number, know that you are going to have quadratic. Okay? The quadratic might be a simpler quadratic. It might be also what? A kind of full quadratic equation. But when you have 2, if you have 3 quadratic, if you have 2, it's going to be linear. Okay, so that is that. Very easy to do. Now let's go to another type of question that involve application. Here says determine the number base x and y in this following simultaneous equations. So you have this first equation. Okay, and you have the second equation. Can you see that? So you can see that they are all expressed in base x and base y, base x and base y, but this side is what? Base 10. So it's very easy. So I told you already that what you need to do is to what? To convert to what? To base 10, isn't it? Now converting this left hand side to base 10, you have 3 multiplied by what? By x raised to power what? 1, then plus 2 multiplied by x raised to power 0 minus. You open a bracket at this side. This bracket, the first bracket is not compulsory anyway, but this second bracket is very compulsory. Why? Because of this subtraction. Because the subtraction is going to multiply the minus here you have is going to multiply everything inside the bracket at the end of the day. So here we have 1 multiplied by y raised to power 1, then plus 2 multiplied by y raised to power 0, which everything equals what? 9. So I don't have to touch 9 because it's already in base 10. Now for here, what do you have? You have 3 times x, that will give you 3x. Then 2 times 1 is going to be 2. So 1 times y is y. 2 times 1 is what? Is, y raised to power 0 is 1. So that's why I'm just calling it 1. So 2 times this is going to give you 2. So that's equal to 9. Then you can open the bracket now. You can see the minus is affecting the what? Y and the 2. Because minus times plus is going to give you minus, which is what you have here. Then definitely minus times the plus that is beside this y is also minus. So if you simplify for that, you discover that this plus 2 and minus 2 can annul each other. So you'll be left with what? 3x minus y equals what? Equals 9. So I can still call it equation 1 because I've not really done much on it. So now consider equation 2, this equation here. So the same thing applied to it. 2 times x raised to power 1 plus 3 times x raised to power 0. We are converting to base 10. Then 2 times y raised to power 1 plus 1 times y raised to power 0. Okay. Again, you have this if you simplify further. That's 2x plus 3. That's correct. Then minus open bracket 2y plus 1 equals what? 4. So in this case, I open my bracket and I have this. By the time I simplify further, I can have 2x minus 2y plus 2, because plus 3 minus 1 is plus 2. So I can move the 2 to that side of the equation. That becomes 4 minus 2, which will give me 2 at the right hand side. So I have 2, 2, 2. I can divide through by what? By 2. So that I can have x minus y equals 1. So I can call this one again equation 2. Okay. Now all I need to do now is to bring equation 1, which is this equation here, and this one here. I can bring them all together. Okay. So that I can solve them the way we solve simultaneous equation. Now these are the equations now. I need to subtract the equation because I want to eliminate what? I want to use the elimination method, and I want to eliminate y. First, the coefficient of y are equal and their signs are also the same. So I need to what? Subtract. Otherwise, I can add. Okay? If the coefficients are not the same, you know what to do. You have to make them to be the same, isn't it? So you can go back to your simultaneous equation, and when we get there, we can learn it better. So what you need to, let me just explain it shortly. What you need to just do is that if they have different coefficients, okay, you can use the coefficient of the down one, of this one here, to multiply everything in equation 1. Then use the coefficient of this one here to multiply everything in what? In equation 2. Then bring them together again and start your work. If they are not what? Of the same coefficient. But here, they are already of the same coefficient and of the same sign. When they have the same sign, subtract. Whether plus or minus, subtract. But if they have different signs, like plus, minus, minus, plus, okay, you add. You understand that? So here you're going to what? Subtract. And when you subtract 3x minus x, is going to give me 2x, isn't it? That will give me 2x. Then this one is going to give me 0, because minus y minus minus y, okay, it will give me minus y plus y, okay, because this minus times this minus give me plus. So it's going to be plus y here, then minus y here. That will give me 0. Then again, 9 minus 1 is going to give me 8, isn't it? To give me 8. Now I can further divide both sides by what? By 2. And that will give me what? 4. X equals what? 4. So I've gotten 4 as the value of x. So for me to obtain y, I can consider equation 2, which is the easiest equation to be used there. So since my x is already 4, I can just substitute what? Substitute 4 for it. Then I collect like terms, okay? If I substitute 4 here, I move it to the other side, it becomes minus 4 there. Then I have minus y equals 1 minus 4, okay? 1 minus 4 will give me minus 3. So minus can annul minus to give me y equals 3. So in a nutshell, I have x to be 4 and y to be 3. You can see? So the bases are actually what? 4 and 3. So that is so easy to do. So I hope this actually have added to our knowledge. So let's take a look at assessment. This assessment is what you can go through for all the videos that has to do with number bases that we have done. You can go through this assessment and get more well acquainted with the principle you need to apply when dealing with number bases. So here we have the first question, the second, the third question, the second question, the third question, and fourth, fifth, and sixth question. So you can go through it. This will really help you on how to deal with number bases in future. I hope this video is actually making a tangible input. So this is just to be created in order to help the young students that are coming up. Please stay tuned for my next video. And don't forget, knowledge is power. Without knowledge, the world remains static. Let's keep the world moving. Have a nice day. See you next class.